Are you different? This time on Sales Talk with Joe. You know, whether you've been in sales for years or just starting your sales career or even just thinking about a career in sales, Sales Talk with Joe is designed to help you become more successful. Now, when I ask, are you different? I don't mean, are you unusual? Although I've been accused of being unusual more than once, and it worked out okay for me. But I'm not suggesting that you should be unusual. What I'm suggesting is there something that makes you stand out among prospects and customers? You know, we all tend to be the same. You know, we're all very carefully groomed. Our clothing tends to look the same. A lot of times our companies want us to wear company logoed shirts or some type of business attire. And we all tend to look the same to customers. We walk into their office carrying some type of a satchel with, you know, our device in it or our laptop or whatever. And at some point we may break that out and use that to enhance our presentation to a customer. Or they see us electronically, you know, we meet electronically and, you know, they see us through a screen and we all look the same. We're all sitting in some type of an office setting and we tend to use the same type of language, you know, the same type of descriptors to talk about our product. So what really makes you different? I had a very eye-opening experience when my company moved me from primarily sales to primarily training. Now, my company never completely moved me out of sales, which was a very, very smart thing for them to do because it kept me in direct contact with the customers so I could kind of keep my finger on the pulse of what was going on in our industry in different markets. And the kind of feedback that, you know, you'd get from customers, it would come through unfiltered about our programs and our products. But anyway, one time a territory sales manager contacted me and said, "Hey Joe, I've got a customer that's doing an event. It's a trade show kind of thing, and they're doing some training. Would you come in and handle the training for it?" And I had time in my schedule, so I agreed to do that. But I wasn't involved in this show at all, which was a unique experience for me because when I was totally in sales, I would become very involved with customer shows. You know, set up our presentation booth. We had a pop-up display. We'd put product and literature out and put our display up. And, you know, it'd always be like, boy, you know, this looks great because it was my product and our display material. And I'd make sure I'd set everything up properly and made it look good. And, you know, really thought I had a great display. Well, because I was no longer in sales and no longer involved in setting the display up, I can remember walking up and down the aisles of that trade show, looking at what everybody had out, and then coming to my company and looking at their display and thinking, that doesn't look a whole lot different than everybody else. What would attract somebody in here to this display? And I got to thinking about the salespeople that were involved, and they all looked the same, and they all sounded the same. I listened to them talking to prospective customers that were walking in the booth and thought, why would anybody look at them and think they're different than anybody else? You know, the thing that will attract customers or turn prospects into customers more than anything else is us being unique and different and not just spouting the same old to customers, you know, making them really think that we are handling them in a special and unique way. Now, there's lots of ways to do that, and some of my other videos have talked about that. Ways to make yourself unique to customers, ways to get customers to give you attention, pay attention to you, and see you as a lot more than just a salesperson. We don't have time to go into all of those in this video. But the most important thing to do is be yourself, be genuine, and be genuinely interested in your customer. Instead of launching into a pitch, find out things about your customer. Ask good, high-yield, open-ended questions. Questions that make your customer think and and think about their answer and why you're asking that question, why you want to gather that information, to be more than just a salesperson that sells them a product, but to be involved in their business and help their business be successful. That's how you are different as a salesperson. You know, the old, hey, I've got some great new product that has a brand new feature to it, doesn't cut it. I mean, everybody says that. It's really, really important to connect with the customer, and a long time before you ever start talking about yourself, your company, or your product, finding out as much as you can about the customer and finding out what you do that matches up with them. That's how you make yourself different, and that's a positive difference that will earn you more customers and more sales. I'm Joe Ferguson. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the like button. Share this video with somebody that you think it will help, and subscribe. Also, I'd love to hear a comment from you. If you do something that makes yourself different than everybody else, share it in the comments. You might help some of the other viewers on this video. Might help give me a great idea for a new video in the future. If you have a product or service that you think would be of value to my viewers, email me. My email is in the description. I'll be happy to talk to you about sponsorship opportunities. If you just want to chat a little bit more about sales, go ahead and use that email. I'd be happy to hear from you and talk to you a little bit more about sales and about your particular situation if there's something I can do to help you. I'm Joe Ferguson. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Thursday on Sales Talk with Joe.